Yo, what is good, YouTube? This is Abin, and we're back for another OU battle. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to bring you this battle. Once again, I'm using my Gen 5 Retro team. This was an absolutely amazing battle that happened on the Rocket HQ stream. And I'm so happy because if you've watched the other battles with this team, and if you haven't, why are you watching this? Go watch them. But if you've seen those battles, you know that my Scarf's Greninja has kind of been the star of this show of this team. Even though he wasn't really supposed to be, the team is actually built around Excadrill. That little tiny bitty mole right there was an Uber in Gen 5 because of Perma Weather. And with a Smooth Rock in 7 turns, Sandrust Excadrill is an Uber for 7 turns, people. An Uber in OU for 7 turns. It's powerful. But I've had no matches yet where I had the chance to sweep with Excadrill. And in this battle, Excadrill gets to shine. You see how powerful it is. And I hope you all consider using this Excadrill because it really does some work in this battle. So, this is against Cobalt. You may remember Cobalt. He and I did a dual comm in the past on Rocket HQ. Really great battler, very competitive. He was testing out a new team, and I was like, what the heck, I'll battle you. So we engaged in Pokebase Fisticuffs. And let's go ahead and start the battle now and see what happens. So, Rocket people, if you like this video, please hit the like button. It really helps Rocket HQ out, helps us grow, and don't forget the Rocket tier system in the Pokemon League or live. You can get gym battles and rank up now. Click the links in the description to find out more. So getting into the battle, I saw the Scolipede, so I really predicted him to lead with it, as most people do. I don't have a real counter to Scolipede, but my Tyranitar actually carries Rock Tomb, so I was going to use Rock Tomb to deal with Scolipede. I'll get into that more later. I actually go into my Swampert because I saw the Scolipede, so I thought maybe he's a physical Greninja. I know he's trying out some weird pokes. Maybe he's physical. I thought maybe he'd go for Hydro Pump. I don't know why I went to Swamp, but I really shouldn't have. I guess it's mainly because I thought he was physical. And then I would switch in the Venusaur to see if he had the grass type of move. But he outright goes for the grass move over the water move, as he should have, looking at my team. I just lose Swampert, so I'm in a really bad position. But here, of course, I bring out my choice Scarf Greninja. I could have gone for Ice Beam, but I go for U-Turn. It'll do a large chunk of damage, and I know that my opponent could have switched out, not wanting to risk a Speed Tie, knowing he is weak to Ice. But now, not predicting an extra Sensory, I'm assuming he's going to go for like Grass Knot. I go into my Venusaur very safely, and the Sand and the Life Orb will be enough to KO Greninja. But honestly, people, in OU, I think Choice Scarf Greninja is better than Life Orb Greninja. I'm adoring Greninja on this team. It's such a good revenge killer. It's so good at cleaning things up. And if I don't have my Sand up with Excadrill, it's a great backup poke that will outspeed anything. And you always need at least 2 fast mons on a team, in my opinion. You always need that backup speed. So now Cobalt makes an amazing play. He goes into Scolipede, and honestly, Scolipede is very similar to Mega Mawile in that if you give it even 1 turn, it becomes insanely dangerous. So he brings out my Venusaur knowing I can't touch him, I have to switch. He gets a free Swords Dance and a free Speed Boost. Tremendous play on his part, really shifts the battle a little bit in his favor. It's really still, in my opinion, Cobalt's in control. I was under a lot of pressure ever since I foddered my Swampert unintentionally. Cobalt was really in control of the battle at this point. So I go for a Rock Tomb in case he wants to stay in, and because I can strip the Speed Boost debate from whatever comes in. So now I hit this Garchomp, I break a Focus Sash if it's there. The only reason this Garchomp would outspeed my Greninja is if it was Choice Scarf and got the Speed Boost. But now it's guaranteed to be slower, but I can't go right into my Greninja, obviously. This thing's a monster, and I realize right now I can threaten this thing out or kill it with Greninja, but someone has to die. So looking at my team, unfortunately Swampert's gone. I would have chosen Swampert, but I decide Aegislash is the least valuable Mon because I also have Excadrill to deal with Clefable. So sorry Slash, you did a lot of work recently, but I had thought of you. Here I could have gone for U-Turn, predicting a switch, but if I went for U-Turn and Cobalt stayed in and went for Earthquake, it would have been game-changing. I would have lost another Mon. So I go for the safe Ice Beam. It's absolutely worth it just to get damage off and to to force his Garchomp out. So I do get a nice chunk of damage on the Scizor. Now, my Mega Venusaur, it has terrible coverage, but it's an amazing stall poke. It's actually amazing at stalling out Mega Scizors. I stall out Mega Scizors regularly with this Mega Venusaur. Unboosted, they can't even break my sub, guaranteed. So predicting a Bullet Punch, probably, I go into Venusaur. And my opponent does go ahead and Mega Evolve and show me they are in fact a Mega Scizor. And here I believe they do go for the Bullet Punch. It still does decent damage because I'm not Mega Evolved at this point, so my defenses are lower. Mega Venusaur takes that much better. So here I decide to Mega Evolve, and notice the sand went down. So I do decide to go ahead and get a Synthesis up. That way if I'm at full HP, I know I can stall this thing out for days. If it's Swords Dance, it'll be a little precarious, but I can still do it. So I go ahead, Mega Evolve, Mrs. Fields. I love Mega Venusaur. This thing is fantastic. Get my Synthesis, go back up to full HP. My opponent brings in Garchomp. I'm expecting an Earthquake, which I know I can definitely take. I decide to go for a Giga Drain. I'll get a lot back. But they actually go for Fire Blast, revealing that they're mixed. Fire Blast would have done like 25%-ish. So the miss doesn't really matter there. I get my Giga Drain off. It's still a 2-hit KO regardless of the crit. And now this play, the series of plays right here changed the battle. This dramatically changed the battle in my favor and helped me get initiative, helped me to take the offensive and made Cobalt play defensively. Because Cobalt's a good player, I knew he'd switch into Scolipede. He quad resist Giga Drain, and like we talked about earlier, he'd get that free turn. He'd get his free turn. But I double switch into Tyranitar, predicting him to go into the Scolipede, which puts me in an amazing position because now I can go for Rock Tomb and prevent him from passing speed. So I go for my Rock Tomb. I know it will not kill, but I can get a lot of damage off and I can stop him from passing speed. So I go for my Rock Tomb, and looking at his team, I really thought he was going to Baton Pass in the Scizor. This Tyranitar, I love this Tyranitar. It's actually mixed with Stealth Rocks, Crunch, Rock Tomb, and Fire Blast. I have another variant of this T-Tar that runs Ice Beam, but because we have Greninja, we run Fire Blast. So predicting the Scizor to come in on a Baton Pass, I actually clicked Fire Blast. Obviously, if my opponent stayed in, it would still kill them, but that was very unlikely. So I do go for the Fire Blast. Luckily, I hit. Tyranitar is wearing his glasses, and the Scizor goes down. Huge play for me. At that moment, I shifted to taking complete control of this battle. With Scizor gone, there's nothing stopping my Greninja and my Exegil from just wreaking havoc. So here, I kind of make a risky play. I want to take advantage of the Sandstorm, and I'm pretty sure my opponent's going to go for a Calm Mind. They might go for a Cosmic Power, but I don't think they're going to do anything that will stop my Exegil. Luckily for me, they went for the Calm Mind specifically, so that's great news for me. Here, surprisingly, they take Sand damage, which tells me they're not Magic Guard, but unaware. So I actually can't go for a Swords Dance here and have it do more damage to Clefable. I can always go for a Swords Dance to hit other Mons, but I decided to just go for safe Iron Head flinches. And look at Exegil. I love this thing with Sand Rush. Mold Breaker is old news. Sand Rush is where it's at. This thing is an uber. So obviously I do massive damage to this Clefable, which is max HP, max defense, by the way. I do massive damage. And here I predict my opponent to probably switch out. I predicted Garchomp to come in with my opponent wanting to make me take Rough Skin damage in addition to Life Orb Recoil. So I actually go for the Earthquake because I didn't think Zapdos would come in right there. You know, my opponent also could have thought I had Rock Slide. I actually don't carry Rock Slide. I carry Swords Dance, Swords Dance, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Rapid Spin. I might switch to Rock Slide now that I think about it. So now I go for Earthquake, and ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. A battle that I was, playing very defensively in. Cobalt had a definitive edge, and Exegil is just wreaking havoc. This thing is a mini Uber. It literally just went on a mini sweep right now through Cobalt's entire team. At this point, Cobalt's down to 2 Mons, all because of this Exegil just wreaking havoc. I love this thing. It is... Y'all, Mold Breaker ain't nothing. Sandwest Exegil is an Uber for 7 turns. Use it. It's powerful. So here I just go for the Iron Head. Again, I don't have Rock Slide. My opponent actually went for T-Ball, predicting a switch. So I decide I might as well keep Exegil for later. I go into Venusaur kind of as the pivot switch. And the thing here is, I know that Greninja can outspeed and kill this Zapdos, but not at full HP. If this Zapdos is defensive, I need it to not be at full HP to die from an Ice Beam. So my plan is to kind of try and whittle this thing down a little bit. You see how well I take that Thunderbolt. I do get the parry, but it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to stall this thing out. Just let it be at a low amount of health. So I do go for the sub. I get it off through the pair hacks. My opponent goes for Heat Wave, and I know if this thing is special, then or defensive rather than offensive, it will not break my sub. Look how powerful Venusaur is. I eat that Heat Wave up. Hot sauce. That ain't nothing to a Venusaur. So I go for my Leech Seed feeding, to just again roll down the Zapdos, because my whole objective is I don't want this thing at full HP. If it's not at full HP, I know for a fact Greninja can kill it. So here I believe I go for the Synthesis, just to get back to full HP. My opponent actually switches out. If only I went for the Giga Drain. If only. But now I know this Clefable is unaware, not Magic Guard, so it will take damage from Leech Seed, which I can go for. A Moonlight is a very, very obvious play right now, but I do decide to just go for a Leech Seed here. My plan is to bring in T-Tar, get the Sand up, make this thing take a little bit of damage, and then either die or go into Excadrill and finish this thing off. So I do get paralyzed there, unfortunately. And here I'm at full HP. I'm like, I might as well just save Venusaur for later. Oh, I'm sorry. Here I do, in fact, go for a Leech Seed just to get it off on this thing, get some residual damage. My opponent does start setting up with Clefable. Again, I'm not very concerned. They can't boost their defense. And as long as this thing is at not at full HP, Excadrill will kill with Iron Head. I don't even need Sandstorm to outspeed. I naturally outspeed. So now I've got my Leech Seed off. I decided to go ahead and go into T-Tar. I can fodder T-Tar here, get the Sand up, and then go into Excadrill. The more I think about it, the more I'm wondering if Rock Slide would be better. That's going to be the question of the day today. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I should run Swords Dance or Rock Slide? Let me know what you think and why. So I go into T-Tar, really just for fodder, just to get the Sand up. I decide to start going for Rock Tombs. You know, having the Sand up makes Moonlight very ineffective. And I was really in the prediction war of not knowing whether or not Cobalt would want to go for Moonlights. If I predicted Cobalt to go for a Moonlight, I could always switch into Excadrill on the Moonlight and then KO with Iron Head. But I also didn't want him to just a Shadow Ball, because if Cobalt realized that I would want to just go into Excadrill and he went for a Shadow Ball, from the range Excadrill's at, he would kill me, and that would be game changing. So I decide, even though it makes a lot of sense, I just want to stay in at this point. And the reason I go for Stealth Rocks again is because I need that Zapdos to not be at full HP. So for that reason, I go for Rocks just to make sure that when it comes in, it won't be. So again, you know, I could switch into Excadrill just to try and wrap this up faster. My fear is that Cobalt either getting Reckless because the battle's almost over, or making an excellent prediction, could attack Excadrill with Shadow Ball on the switch, which would cost me Excadrill, and that would be game changing. So I'm like, why not? Between the Sand and Leech Seed, I am whittling this thing down. I could always get a crit. There's really no reason for me not to stay with Tyranitar. He doesn't even really have the opportunity to go for Moonblasts. He sort of has to go for Moonlights. So, you know, at the risk of losing my Excadrill, I just sort of decide I'll do a little mini stall here with T-Tar and just keep spamming Rock Tomb. Obviously, it's also slower than T-Tar now, so I'm hitting it before it Moonlights, which is very huge. And of course, Sandstorm weakens Moonlight's effectiveness. So after this last Moonlight right here, actually no, he might have two more, looking at his health from that range. He gets hit by Sand, he gets his leftovers back, and then Leech Seed will hit him. Let's see how much health he's at. He might have two more left. How much does Leech Seed take him down to? It's gonna be close. This might be the kill right here. What, turn 29? This might be the kill. Let's see. I go for it. I think he lives in the red. Yep, barely lives. But obviously each time his health is getting lower. So this will be his final Moonlight. There's nothing he can do. I am obviously going to end up killing this thing. So again, we have to watch all three animations for Sand, Lefties, and Leech Seed. But I'll be able to go for one last Rock Tomb with my Zucchini and kill this thing. I'm also glad you all got to see T-Tar. Haven't been getting a chance to show it off as much, but it does have Crunch, Stealth Rock, Rock Tomb, and Fire Blast. I love that it's mixed. Mine's actually a sassy nature to not weaken Fire Blast. And I love that I have Rock Tomb, because really I only use Rock Tomb on things that die anyway, like Talonflame and Charizard Y. And it's just great for lowering the speed of things on switches and things of that nature. I really enjoy using it a lot. So here my opponent goes into Zapdos. I could get cheeky and pull a switch, but I decide there's no reason not to just Rock Tomb. This also ensures Exegil without speed, even if the sand is down. Here I almost switched out into Greninja, predicting a Roost. But again, my opponent could get reckless at the end of the battle and just spam T-Bolt. I thought the safer play undeniably was just to stay in with T-Tar and try and whittle this thing down. So that's what I do. It's a good thing I didn't switch because Cobalt actually went for the T-Bolt. And I do get my Rock Tomb off. And that's the game, a 4-0 victory in my favor. An absolutely excellent battle. I am so happy to bring it all to you. Congrats to Cobalt, my opponent. Really cool team. Really cool battle. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm so glad I got to show off my Exegil to all of you. Let me know what you think of it, and let me know if you think Swords Dance or Rock Slide would be better. But once again, beautiful, wonderful Rocket people, thank you so much for watching this Rocket HQ video. If you liked the video, why not leave a like? Helps the channel grow. And don't forget, you all can be doing what I'm doing. You can be an admin. You can rank up in Team Rocket today. The rank up system is live. Check down below for links to that. And also, the Team Rocket Pokemon League is live. You can be challenging gym leaders, earning badges, becoming the champion right now today. All that information is in the description, so please check that out. This is Umbra. Thank you so much for watching this Rocket HQ video. Have a good one.